Imagine walking through the wild, deep in a jungle, across a snowy plain or beneath the ocean, and suddenly spotting a creature dressed entirely in white. Not just rare, not just beautiful, but a living ghost among its colorful cousins. These aren't fantasy creatures. They're real animals born with a rare genetic condition called albinism. And they're some of the most breathtaking sights nature has ever created. Today, we're diving into the secret world of albino animals, some so rare they've only ever been seen once in recorded history. 1. The White Giraffe. A giant in ghostly white standing tall in Kenya. Giraffes are already the tallest animals on Earth. Hard to miss, right? But imagine spotting one not covered in the usual patchwork of gold and brown, but instead glowing white like a mirage. Back in 2017, rangers at Kenya's Ishak-Bini Hirola Conservancy stumbled upon something extraordinary, a completely white giraffe. It wasn't albino, but leucistic, a rare condition where an animal loses most of its pigmentation, yet still retains normal eye color. This one had strikingly dark eyes, standing in ghostly contrast to its snow-white coat. It looked like a spirit drifting through the savannah. While leucistic giraffes are breathtakingly beautiful, their lack of camouflage makes them an easy target for predators, and sadly, poachers. The mother was later killed, leaving her calf as the last known white giraffe on Earth. Since then, rangers have fitted him with a GPS tracker and monitor him closely to ensure his safety. 2. The White Lion, Africa's living legend. In the golden plains of South Africa, lions are symbols of power and dominance. But every so often, one emerges that breaks the mold, a lion not bathed in gold, but glowing white. White lions, with their snowy manes and piercing eyes, are some of the most captivating creatures on Earth. White lions aren't albino. They owe their unique coloring to a rare recessive gene that suppresses pigmentation in the fur while keeping their eyes and skin normally colored. This condition is called leucism, and it's what turns these apex predators into living legends. In many indigenous African cultures, especially in the Timbavati region, white lions have long been regarded as sacred creatures, spiritual messengers, or even symbols of royalty. Their rarity has only deepened their mystique. How rare are they? According to recent records, there are only around 300 white lions in captivity across the globe, and fewer than 10 individuals believed to be living freely in the wild, mostly in protected parts of Timbavati and Kruger National Park. One of the most famous among them is Moya, a breathtaking male lion known for his bright white coat and regal demeanor. His name means spirit in Zulu, a fitting title for a creature that seems more myth than mammal. 3. Albino Peacock, the stunning bird that nature rejected. As you probably know, peacocks are famous for having some of the most dazzling feathers on Earth. When a male fans out his tail, it's a full-on color explosion. But here's a fun fact. Only male peacocks have those flashy feathers. The females, they're smaller, brownish, and pretty plain-looking, like they showed up to a costume party in everyday clothes. Now imagine that same peacock, but completely white, like a glowing bride on her wedding day. Pure snow-white feathers, piercing blue eyes. It's the kind of beauty that'll leave you speechless at first sight. These albino peacocks are incredibly rare and highly prized as exotic pets by the ultra-rich. But here's the twist. While we humans might be obsessed with their angelic look, female peacocks aren't impressed at all. In the bird world, those white feathers are a total turn-off. The ladies only go for males with big, colorful, show-stopping tails. And so, these breathtaking white peacocks remain alone, stunning, graceful, and totally ignored in the dating game. 4. The Albino Buffalo, Thailand's unexpected symbol of soft power. Among the world's rare albino animals, few have become as valuable, or as famous, as a Thai albino buffalo named Ko Muang Phet. Owned by farmer Dam Rongsak in northern Thailand, this striking white buffalo wasn't just a beautiful animal, it was a life-changer. With the ability to pass down the albino trait to nearly 90% of its calves, Ko Muang Phet quickly became a gold mine, helping Damrongsak buy a house, cars, and expand his farm. But in 2024, during Thailand's prestigious Buffalo Festival, Damrongsak made headlines when he decided to part with his prized buffalo. He sold Ko Muang Phet to the Wanasuan farm in Chiang Rai for a record-breaking 18 million baht, about $500,000. At nearly 5 years old, standing 1.8 meters tall, measuring over 3 meters in length, and weighing a staggering 1.5 tons, Ko Muang Phet was already extraordinary. But his appeal didn't end there. The unique feather whorls on his coat are believed to signify a gentle nature and bring luck and prosperity to his owner. This legendary buffalo had even drawn interest from wealthy buyers in Dubai for millions of dollars, offers that Damrongsak turned down, determined to keep the buffalo in Thailand. But owning such a rare and valuable animal came with major security challenges, and ultimately, the sale ensured Ko Muang Phet's safety and future. Beyond the farm, Ko Muang Phet became a pop culture icon. He starred as I Klau's buffalo in the latest version of the classic Thai TV drama Mon Rak Luk Thung, and was even welcomed by Prime Minister Sretha Thavisin at the government house. An event designed to showcase the buffalo as a symbol of Thailand's unique heritage and soft power on the global stage. 5. The Albino Whale, the ghost of the ocean. In the vast blue silence of the ocean, the sight of a pure white whale is nothing short of haunting. Albino whales are incredibly rare, so rare, in fact, that many people go their whole lives without ever seeing one, even in captivity. Their whiteness comes from a genetic condition that blocks pigmentation, turning their skin a pale, ghostly white, and their eyes often pink or blue. Among the most legendary of these was Migaloo, the albino humpback whale spotted off the coast of Australia in the early 1990s. His name means white fella in several Aboriginal languages, and he quickly became a national treasure. Researchers have followed him for decades, tracking his long migrations and studying his health. His pale color, while beautiful, also made him vulnerable, easy to spot by predators and boats alike. As a result, Australian authorities declared him a special interest species with protected status. In total, fewer than 3 to 4 white humpback whales have ever been confirmed globally. Aside from Migaloo, others like Migaloo Jr., Bahlu, and Willow have appeared in scattered sightings but remain enigmatic. 6. The Albino Alligator, a pale predator fighting to survive. When you picture an alligator, you probably think of a dark, armored reptile lurking in murky waters, built for stealth. But albino alligators, they flip that image on its head. These rare creatures are ghost white, with pale pinkish skin and almost translucent blue eyes. And while they may look otherworldly, their lives are anything but magical. Albino alligators are born with a genetic mutation that prevents them from producing melanin, the pigment that gives their skin its typical dark color. That makes survival in the wild incredibly tough. Without natural camouflage, they're easy targets for predators when they're young. And once grown, the bright skin still makes hunting difficult. Add in their extreme sensitivity to sunlight, and you've got a reptile that's both fierce and fragile. It's estimated that only about 100 albino alligators exist in the entire world, and almost all of them live in captivity where they can be protected from the sun, predators, and pollution. In places like the Audubon Aquarium in New Orleans, these rare reptiles are cared for under special lighting and climate controls. 7. Snowflake, the albino gorilla, a true one-of-a-kind icon. Most gorillas blend into the lush green of the jungle with their dark fur and powerful build. But Snowflake? He was different. With his pale skin, white hair, and thoughtful blue eyes, he looked like he'd stepped straight out of a dream. Discovered in 1966 in Equatorial Guinea and later brought to the Barcelona Zoo, Snowflake became the world's only known albino gorilla. He quickly became a global sensation, both for his striking appearance and his gentle, almost human-like demeanor. Snowflake had a rare genetic mutation that caused albinism, making him incredibly sensitive to sunlight. Zookeepers had to take special precautions to protect his skin and eyes. Genetic testing later revealed that his albinism was the result of inbreeding. His parents were closely related, which increased the chances of this rare trait being passed down. Despite these challenges, he lived a long, healthy life, reaching the age of 39, fathering over 20 offspring, none of whom inherited his condition, and captivating millions of visitors for nearly 4 decades. 8. Frosty, the ghost orca of the Pacific. In 2023, a group of tourists in Newport Harbor, California, were stunned to witness a once-in-a-lifetime sight, a completely white killer whale, later named Frosty. With bright, pale skin and a gray dorsal fin and head, Frosty looked more like a creature from a fantasy novel than a real predator of the deep. But unlike what many assume, Frosty wasn't alone. He was swimming in sync with 6 other orcas, moving as a tight-knit pod, proof that his unusual appearance didn't affect his social standing in the group. Orcas like Frosty remain perfectly safe in the wild. After all, they have no natural predators. 9. Albino Elephants, sacred beasts worth millions. Albino elephants aren't a different species. They're mostly Asian elephants born with rare pigment mutations that turn their skin pale pink, yellowish, or light gray. Not all are fully albino. Many just have reduced pigmentation. Biologically, they're normal, but culturally, they're a big deal. In Thailand, Myanmar, and Laos, these elephants are seen as holy. For centuries, they were symbols of power and prosperity. Only kings were allowed to own them, and spotting one was believed to be a blessing from the heavens. Thailand even put them on its old national flag. In Hindu mythology, a white elephant carried the god Indra. That's how deep their status runs. Today, only about 30 albino elephants exist, mostly in captivity in Thailand and Myanmar. They're extremely rare, and some are valued at millions of dollars. Sadly, many are used for tourism or ceremonies and aren't always treated well. 10. The Albino Snake. Terrifying, mysterious, and worth thousands of dollars. Among the most extraordinary reptiles ever recorded is the albino cobra, a snake stripped entirely of pigment, its pale, spectral appearance unlike anything seen in the wild. While its ghostly white scales may seem fragile, make no mistake, this snake is just as venomous and deadly as its pigmented counterparts. Albino cobras are exceptionally rare. Due to a genetic mutation that suppresses melanin production, they are thought to occur in only 1 in every 100,000 births. This extreme rarity, combined with their striking appearance, has turned them into high-value targets for collectors. Some have been sold for tens of thousands of dollars. Want to see the most stunning albino snake ever discovered? In 2017, one of the most remarkable albino snakes was discovered in northern Australia. A completely white, slaty-gray snake, later named Lucille. Unlike cobras, this species is non-venomous, making Lucille not only visually stunning but entirely harmless. But we're not done yet. Then there's the albino python, massive, muscular, and snow-white. Spotting one at night could easily stop anyone in their tracks. But despite their size and intimidating appearance, albino pythons are generally docile and non-aggressive. Their unique look and calm temperament have made them surprisingly popular as exotic pets. 11. The Albino Lobster, the ocean's 1-in-a-million marvel. In the vast, dark depths of the ocean, spotting an albino lobster is like finding a glowing pearl in a coal mine. Their ghostly white shell isn't just rare, it's astronomically rare. Experts estimate that only 1 in 100 million lobsters are true albinos. Unlike blue, yellow, or even calico lobsters, albino lobsters completely lack pigment, resulting in a translucent, snowy appearance that almost doesn't look real. But this beauty comes at a cost. Their lack of camouflage makes them vulnerable in the wild, which explains why so few survive long enough to be seen. In fact, over the past 30 years, only 3 albino lobsters have ever been officially documented. That's right, just 3. So even though you're not seeing it in person, just by watching this video, you're now part of an incredibly small group of people who've ever laid eyes on one. If that's not lucky, what is? Don't forget to hit like and support the channel. so we can keep bringing you rare wonders like this. 12. The Albino Shark, a rare miracle beneath the waves. Sharks are the ultimate stealth predators, sleek, powerful, and built to disappear into the depths of the ocean. But every once in a while, nature tosses the rulebook aside and gives us something truly unexpected: a pure white shark. Albino sharks are incredibly rare. Their lack of pigmentation makes them stand out like beacons in the deep blue sea, a serious disadvantage for a creature that relies on blending in to hunt. On top of that, their pale eyes and sensitive skin make them more vulnerable to sunlight and disease, especially in shallow, warmer waters. 13. The Albino Ray, the ocean's elusive pearl. Marine biologists say spotting an albino ray in the wild is about as likely as hitting the lottery. Part of that rarity comes from the genetic odds of albinism itself, but the other part? Geography. These creatures often inhabit deep, remote waters, far from human eyes and cameras. Unlike regular rays, which are masters of disguise with their sandy gray or brown coloring, albino rays stand out with striking hues of milky white or soft pink. And while it makes them visually stunning, it also creates major survival challenges. Their skin is also more vulnerable to sunlight and abrasion, especially in shallow or warmer waters, which is why they tend to stay in deeper regions of the ocean. One of the most famous encounters happened off the coast of Australia, when divers captured rare footage of a pinkish-white manta ray gliding through the blue like a flying silk sheet. Encounters like that are so rare that each sighting becomes a scientific and media event. 14. The Albino Hedgehog, a rare and enigmatic little loner. With snowy white quills and striking red or pink eyes, albino hedgehogs are a real-life mystery wrapped in cuteness. They're so rare that only 1 in every 100,000 is born with this unique condition, making any encounter with one a small miracle of nature. Unlike their pigmented cousins, albino hedgehogs face extra survival challenges. Their pale coloration makes them stand out in the wild, turning them into easy targets for predators. Plus, their sensitive eyes, a hallmark of true albinism, struggle in bright light, nudging them to stick to shady corners and nighttime wanderings. 15. The Albino Owl, a ghost in the moonlight. Owls are masters of the night, stealthy, silent, and perfectly camouflaged in the shadows. But imagine spotting one that glows white under the moonlight, with crimson eyes and feathers as pale as snow. That's the rare and haunting sight of an albino owl. Unlike snowy owls, which are naturally white, albino owls lack all melanin due to a genetic mutation. Their feathers, beaks, talons, even their eyes are drained of color. This gives them an ethereal appearance, but also brings serious survival challenges. Without their natural camouflage, they're easier for both predators and prey to spot. And their pinkish-red eyes, sensitive to light, make hunting at night, their specialty, much more difficult. And we've just witnessed 15 incredible albino animals that prove nature never stops surprising us. Which one stole your heart? Drop a comment below and don't forget to subscribe, because there's so much more wonder waiting for you.